And we're back in the Coach's Corner. I'm Joe Krapinski, head men's basketball coach at Midway University, joined as always back in Midway, still socially distancing, but back in Midway, Alan Foster, head women's coach. Coach, it's been a little while, but welcome back to Midway and back into the corner.
Great. Yeah, it's been a while since we filmed a show, but we're glad to be back. And, still practicing social distancing, but we're both in the same building. And it's been great to be back on campus and back in Midway, Kentucky.
Yeah, well, there's certainly been a lot of events, that have gone on in and outside campus since we were on. First and foremost, for the on-campus part, we just recently, I think it was last week, Midway University announced that we're intending to resume on-campus instruction in the fall. So I think that was a bit of with the residential component, I think some welcomed news for the faculty and the staff and all the students here at Midway.
Yeah, I thought, great to finally make that official. I know there's been a lot of talk about it. But yeah, great news that we are planning on being back on campus, in-person instruction, and on-campus residence. It's back to close to normal as a college year as we can have. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of other precautions and things we have to take place, but it's good to know that the university is planning on coming back as normal as possible. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think everybody says the new normal. So if you have that in your bingo card, your Coach's Corner bingo card, you may want to check off that square because it's going to be interesting. I think with a lot of things we all have to get used to, but certainly better than the alternative, which was how we finished the year, I think. So I think we're all excited to get back to, athletics and academics and everything here. Along with that, there's obviously been a lot of things going on outside of campus. The coronavirus is still with us. I think we're like I said, we're still taking a lot of precautions here and will going forward. Visits are now back available on campus for those people who want to come out and check out Midway. There's a whole lot of process now with to try to keep everybody as safe as possible, but at least we have that opportunity to show some people our campus. That's been one thing you've talked about a lot, Coach, is our show off what we have here.
Was glad to see that process back. I know, like you said, there's a lot of steps to it. It's not just show up anymore and you can tour campus, but we have taken some steps to allow prospective students, whether they're for this fall or even for the 21 class, an opportunity over the summer to come see our beautiful campus and meet with our admissions staff and learn some more about Midway. So glad to see that we were able to open that process up. And yes, the COVID-19 is still out there, and even though you and I have conversations every day on how to solve all the problems of it, they still haven't seemed to call in the Coach's Corner to ask those questions yet.
Yeah, it's either the CDC or the Coach's Corner. I think it's 6 of one, half of the other.
Exactly.
Who's going to solve this? And also, we shouldn't. I think we'd be remiss without mentioning obviously the huge social changes that have been, hopefully, just the start of which that have been going on outside of campus here. Kentucky was obviously a central player in that with the Breonna Taylor situation, and we've had some conversations with our team about things that we can do as a program and as a school going forward to make sure that. We're enacting some social change and making sure that, the Black lives do matter, obviously, and that that this moment in history doesn't pass us by, so to speak. And I think, I think we've all been mindful of that and how things that hopefully we can do as a team, because we all have, we can't exactly, I know Coach and I aren't exactly the poster people for the movement of what's going on, but we do work with a lot of student athletes that have been personally affected by these sort of things. And I know we had a brief conversation with our team over Zoom about it, and I think we're looking forward to getting everybody back here so we can kind of talk about some of the things that we can do as a department, as a team, and as a school to kind of help with that.
Right. Yeah. With everything that's going on, it's been kind of interesting. I've had some conversations with some of my former players and some of my current players. And, I think it's really good to see that I think athletics is taking a very big role, if not a lead role in some of this. And so coaching these young men and women, I think, give us an opportunity to hear them and help them through this process. And really looking forward, like you said, to getting everybody back on campus. I think when we're back together, we can really understand more about what everybody's going through.
For sure. For sure. And on that note, we move into and now this is our first, we had our first Twitter poll a couple weeks ago, Coach. It took a while for Dylan to put it up there, but he finally got it up and on Twitter. And we asked the audience, who would you like to see as a guest here in the Coach's Corner? And I think we both thought that Robbie Shea was going to be a shoo-in for that.
Thought he would. Thought it was a foregone conclusion, but we were surprised.
Sure enough, by a 2-to-1 margin almost, the viewer, wanted to see a student athlete. So along those lines, we're going to talk to Adrian Constant, our male Midway Award winner, newcomer of the year, and a honorable mention All-American for our men's volleyball program this spring. Season got cut short, but he joined us via satellite. Well, maybe not satellite, but he joined us on Zoom from Antigua, from his home in Antigua this summer. And I really look forward to talking to him and seeing how he's recapping his year and looking forward to next year.
Yeah, really going to be great to talk with Adrian, someone who's very familiar here on the Hall of Knowledge, spends a lot of time, and looking forward to speaking with him and getting his thoughts on the year that he was having that was cut short, and then what his plans here for the future for next year are. So going to be a great segment with Adrian and student athlete. That's what the people demanded. That's what we gave them.
And that's what we give them. We deliver here in the Coach's Corner. So we'll be right back with Adrian Constant right after this. All right, we're back here on the Coach's Corner. And our athlete spotlight today is with our men's volleyball Midway newcomer of the year, Adrian Constant. Adrian, welcome to the corner.
Thank you for having me, guys.
I understand you're a big viewer of Coach's Corner. That's what we were told.
Oh yes, I am. I try to catch every episode once I see it.
So this must be quite a thrill for you to be on.
Of course it is.
We're glad to have you on. Glad to have you on.
Adrian was the newcomer of the year here at Midway. He's a transfer student. He came in here as a junior. He's from All Saints Antigua, so another one of our international students on the volleyball program. And Adrian, talk to us a little bit about your journey to Midway and how your first year went here.
Oh, my journey to Midway, it was the few weeks leading up to coming to Midway, it was stressful and tough because I got into school. I got in like a week late. So Coach Reimer, aka Joe Rhymes. So Joe Rhymes was trying to work with me, trying to work with Mona, trying to get me in because there is the visa requirements, and I could not get a flight to go down to Barbados to get a visa. So it was a struggle. But to get to Midway, it was an invitational tournament I went to, and one of Reimer's former players saw me. And she was like, "What are you doing about college?" And I said, "I'm going to try one more year. And if not, I'm going to try to get on a pro circuit if I can." And she said, "I have this coach. Just prepare a video and send it and see what she says." And everything happened. My first year here was great thanks to friends like DJ, Isaiah, Jason, Victor. Because they were here before, they kind of showed me what to do, what not to do, what to be around. And as you guys know, I'm always in the gym, whether morning, even if it's shooting hoops, and I'm not a basketballer. Let's try to be in the gym.
That's true. That's true. I see Adrian in the gym regardless of what sport's being played. So, no, Adrian puts in work. I can attest to that.
It's probably because as a kid, we don't always get that opportunity to go to college or go to university. So when you get it, you have to grab it. I've seen a few players more talented than me from my country. They get the opportunity, but it's never the second step. Maybe they have complications with visas, with funds, and we just never get off. So,
right.
Yeah. No. So Adrian, obviously,
got to stay above it.
Adrian had a great year for us. Now, unfortunately, the season got cut short a little bit. But prior to that time, we still had obviously the postseason awards. He was a first-team All-League performer here in the Mid-South Conference. He was an honorable mention All-American on the NAIA level, and he was the 4-time Attacker of the Week in the Mid-South. Coach, I know we were joking there during the year. We're going to have to name the award after him.
But yes, I might as well became the Adrian Constant Attacker Award. So, Adrian, tell us a little bit about. I know the season was short, but tell us a little bit about how the season was going before it all got cut short.
We actually started to roll as a team. At the start, I was trying to figure out who everyone was. I didn't say I clashed head with coach, but I was a bit naive, like coming in, okay, this is what I'm accustomed to from home, so this is how I'm gonna do it. And she put her foot down. She was like, this is how we're doing it. I had to listen because we all wanted to win. I pushed Victor a lot, especially playing Eric. Eric was one of the persons that he kept me. Eric was the person that really kept me going in training because we both play the same position. We're friends, and this was Eric. Eric was like to me, Adrian, I'm trying to take this spot, and I welcomed it and I used it. Bringing in a Korean player as well in Zoe, that helped me because I was getting homesick. There was no question. I was getting homesick. So bringing helped me a lot. In terms of these attackers of the week, I gotta thank Gavin because even when I was having, let's say, a bad first set, Gavin continued to give me the ball. The guys we kept insisting. Coach did a great job in figuring out our strengths, working with our strengths. So it was we were starting to gel. I thought we would have had a run in the conference tournament because towards the end of the season we started getting it right. Because as you can remember, Coach Foster, we beat a team in pre-tournament and then we went to Cumberland and lost. And you saw me on the stage and you asked me, Adrian, how do you win a game 3-1 and then lose 3-0?
We would never know how that happens, Coach, right? No idea.
Right.
Immediately after you asked me that, I went to my room and I called Victor and I told him, this is what's going to be. We are not losing to these teams. We're not going to just go out there and give them our win. At least let them take it from us.
Right.
Well, it's yeah, it certainly was. It's volleyball. Obviously, we're only in our second year of men's volleyball here at Midway, and I thought, Coach, I don't know about you thought, but I thought, we took a lot of strides this year. Much more competitive team. We're like Adrian said, we're on our way to, I think, having a pretty good end of the year. So I'm excited to see how it grows. I don't know who this Coach Rima is. Adrian keeps talking about though.
We should invite her on the show.
Have her on the show. Yeah, we should have her on the show.
We should try.
I think we actually made a deal. We actually made a deal. If I complete my Weekend Warrior Challenge for the 9 weeks, she definitely has to come on the show.
Oh, that's good to know. Look at that.
All right.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first. All right. Well, we do have some viewer questions that were sent in for Adrian here, and the first one was from Eleanor in Idaho, back in the text line. She'd like to know, and kind of what we alluded to there earlier, what is it like, Adrian, being part of a relatively new program? I mean, I guess it was new for you, but it was new for all of us here at Midway. What was that like for you?
It was trying to find the identity. When I came in, I heard that we have some solid players. We didn't have a good record. I obviously didn't know the competition level, so I thought at the start that if this is volleyball, if we can play, if we can train hard, we can make a good run in conference. So I thought that I was good enough to hold my end. Vic was good enough to hold his end. Nate, Cowboy, all of us could, if we could gel together with the addition of maybe 1 or 2 pieces, that we could have a good team. After we went on that 0-6 run to start the season, It was not the same as when we were training. Everyone was down, so we just had to. Me and coach, we had a few conversations, and our coach. She just wanted us to try in practice because we're not the best team in training.
Okay.
In the game, we kind of try to make it happen, but in practice, we don't communicate as well as we were supposed to at the start of the season. But being in a new program, it's different. Because growing up, the club team I play for back home, it's from my city, and I grew up playing because my mom used to play volleyball, my dad used to play volleyball. I'm normally the youngest on the team, so to be the oldest on this team was different.
That's good. That's kind of another question that we had texted in from Craig in Iowa, wanting to know what's the biggest difference, or what do you see the difference between volleyball at the college level here in the United States versus the competition you play in your country? Back
home, we have more physical players throughout the Caribbean. A lot of guys jump as high as me. A lot of guys strong, hit the ball, Victor. In this competition, it's more technical ability. So back home, in order to stop me, you would probably set up the blocks. The blocks can match me. Here, I haven't met any blocks that match me, but the coaches set different. So they're like, okay, let Adrian pass the block. If he passes the blocks, fine, but he can't hit the floor. So that's the difference. That's one of the differences. In the Caribbean, is technically gifted as the competition here, but we jump out of the gym, we move fast in all sports.
Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting. And that actually leads to another question from Jan in Pennsylvania. I don't know what the answer to this is, but I guess we'll find out. The question is simply, Adrian, how do you jump so high? Well, I don't know what kind of, so Jan, I guess a watcher of the program knows that you're a pretty athletic kid. And but have you always been a really good athlete? Is that something that you've really worked on? How is that? As coach, as we all know, athletically, it takes a lot of work in the weight room for a lot of things. But how about yourself? Are you kind of naturally gifted, or have you really had to work at
it? I think I'm naturally gifted. I can remember jumping. I don't remember jumping this high, but I remember jumping high. And there's the next kid in Antigua, Jamari. He jumps and me, plays volleyball as well. And he gets way higher than me. We used to be beach partners, beach volleyball partners. In 2018, I can remember coming to the indoor arena, and it was like, oh man, I'm jumping really high. So I guess it's the constant. I try to play basketball. I play a lot of soccer. I've been on the national team for the soccer team. I've played cricket. I play a lot of sports, so I guess it's the cross training, because I was not a fan of the gym before. Coming to Midway was the first time I probably spent 5 days in a row in the gym. Okay. I've never done that.
Right. Another question we had text in, Adrian from Craig and Iowa, just what do you like the most about Midway and the difference between Midway and your country? What have you found the most interesting since you came to Midway?
Okay, the first difference is the weather.
Okay.
That is when I got home, I went to work out one day in the sun, and it was, I thought my head was gonna explode. I like the Midway. It is small. I've been to Darling Jeans. Is that the name of the restaurant?
Yes.
DJs. Yes, I've been there. I've gotten great service. I like the staff. The difference is back home, you don't need a vehicle. There's a bus system. And in Midway, obviously, Lexington or Georgetown or Versailles is where you have to go to probably get goods. So it's more planning ahead in Midway as opposed to what I would do home. Back home, I need some goods, and I hop in the car, or I take a bus to where I need to go.
Okay.
In Midway, it's okay. I plan to go to the store on Friday. It's not today. I get up and say, okay, I'm going to the store today.
That's very similar to Coach Foster's planning now, since he still doesn't have a car.
Exactly.
You and him are in the
I
same
understand,
boat.
Adrian.
You're in the same boat. All right, we got one last question. You mentioned some of the great restaurants we have here in Midway, but the Eagles Roost Tailgate would like to know. What was that? You got that? The Eagles Roost Tailgate would like to know what food from Antigua would you recommend for their next tailgate? What should they make?
Ooh, man. Well, my favorite food from back home is called fungi, but it's technical. They go on, the older folks, the elders would say, if wife doesn't know how to cook fungi, she's not the one for you.
Okay.
So now we know. Well, maybe we should let the tailgate try to figure it out, and then if it comes out pretty good, you'll know that's the tailgate. That's the tailgate you need to go back to.
Right.
Well, I would actually see dumplings, like solid potato dumplings, sweet potato dumplings, or coconut dumplings. I'd definitely like to see that.
All right.
Okay.
Excellent. Well, that gives them something to strive for, I think. Well, Adrian, really appreciate you taking some time out of your summer here. I know we all left a little earlier than we had hoped back in the spring, but we just, as we talked about in the first segment, we're planning on being back here on campus in the fall, which I know we're all excited about it. Hopefully the students are as well. So
yes, I am.
We look forward to having you back here in August and getting ready to have a full volleyball season.
Yes, Adrian, thanks for joining us. And yes, I look forward to seeing you back in the gym, putting in work like you always do.
Yep, this COVID-19 has been obviously tough, but it's been a blessing on the volleyball career because I got back this 1 year, and I've seen doing some recruiting, so we're squadding up and coming back for the Mid-South Conference.
Excellent.
Okay.
Well, best of luck, and we'll appreciate you again coming on, and we'll be right back with, again, everybody's favorite segment, featuring a sponsor from Great Clips, FaceTime with Dylan.
FaceTime with Dylan.
Okay, we are back in on Coach's Corner, our midsummer edition, and I know it's been a long time. The people have been out there, have been waiting. And the question I've been getting, coaches, because now that we're out and about a little more, Kentucky is slowly opening up.
Right.
And they ask me, first of all, they say, hey, wait a minute. They don't ask about Coach's Corner. They say, hey, you're the guy who does FaceTime with Dylan, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, we do. I'm a big player there. And they ask, hey, and I had one guy come up to me the other day and go, hey, I think I saw Dylan at Great Clips the other day. And I'm like, no, Dylan, he's kind of sworn off haircuts for a while with this pandemic.
Right.
But then Dylan came in the other day, and sure enough, he's back. So Dylan, welcome into the corner. You and your new dude there. How are you?
How are you, gentlemen?
Looking sharp.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Shows that the layoff did not hurt Great Clips' skills.
Nope. It was still good. I had to put some gel in it since I knew we were taping Coach's Corner. I made sure to put some gel in it.
You didn't go to the Springfield, Missouri one, did you?
I did not go. I did not go to that one. Alan, did you participate in that one at all?
I have not been there, but it seems to be fine. All 140 people are tested negative. So
0 for 140. 0 for 140.
Missouri, again, the great state of Missouri, leading the way on how to contain COVID. 140 people in Springfield, nobody has it, and 1 case out of the Lake of the Ozarks.
1 case out of the Lake of the Ozarks.
So 0 for 140 was either the percentage of COVID at Springfield, Missouri, or our 3-point percentage in the first half of the year. I don't know which was which.
Well, we can talk about analytics.
Yes. Well, we're back. We are back here on FaceTime with Dylan, and we have a couple things to mention before we get into our questions. The first thing, which we forgot to mention, but we wanted to save it for this segment, was a big congratulations goes out to the River States Conference Athletic Trainer of the Year, Ariel Allman. Midway's own Ariel Allman was announced this week as our conference Athletic Trainer of the Year. So a great award for her, much deserving for her and her staff, Casey and everybody over there who works over there. Coach, just a great recognition for our department.
Yeah, very deserving. And again, just I know you keep tally of these things, another guest appearance on Coach's Corner wins an award.
Put it on the board.
So again, the key to winning awards seems to be appearing on this show. But no, all kidding aside, Ariel does a great job and is very deserving, and we're glad to see her recognized as the River State's Athletic Trainer of the Year, because I don't think we were successful in some other categories in that.
It's funny. It's funny you should mention that, because for one person, their appearance on the Coach's Corner apparently hindered their chance. And this comes in with from Craig in Iowa. That was one of his questions, and we might as well meet it head on here, because it's a question that we've been talking about on the Hall of Knowledge for a while. Craig wants to know: do you think Dylan's involvement in Coach's Corner hindered him in his attempt at a three-peat for SID of the year? And as you can see, Dylan back at him, he clearly didn't agree with the results. Dylan, what happened? Was it this show? Was it something else?
As much as I would want to try and blame Coach's Corner, I don't think I can blame Coach's Corner. It's on me. It's like Coach Foster said. If you want to be as good as the Bulls from the 90s, you got to win 3 in a row, and I didn't win 3 in a row. That means I'm not great.
Well, it is hard. I mean, there were some deserving people. Kyle Wright
very deserving.
He does a really good job. So we're not gonna diss him, but it's just more fun to make fun of you. I think that you didn't get to win the award after on your third straight. And I think what really hurt you, Dylan, I was thinking about a lot about this, is we didn't have the baseball and softball events to run in the spring, and that's where you shine.
Exactly. I shine in the golf, and I shine in the baseball and softball, and it's almost like someone was trying to keep me from getting the award.
I think it's another casualty of the pandemic.
Yep,
it is. It's another coronavirus casualty.
Absolutely.
Dylan's three-peat. So.
Absolutely.
All right, Dylan, well, we did get some other questions from the public, correct? What do we got out there?
We did. So Sarah in Southville, she tweeted one in last week. She's becoming a little bit more frequent. She says she recently finished binging Sister Wives on TLC and need a new show.
Well, that sounds like a question for you, Dylan. What's
Dylan's question?
That would be my type of question. So I had to jot down a couple, because I'm still watching Criminal Minds. I'm in season 8 right now. Wow. So I'm getting to the point where I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do about the last couple seasons. They're not on Netflix. That's on Netflix. Another one that people really seem to like is Outer Banks. I haven't seen that one. I've seen it advertised, but I heard people really like it. I can't give my 2 cents on that one. And then a couple other ones are Shooter. I mentioned that one last show, and All American. Those 2 are 2 good ones as well. So you can check those out. They're on Netflix.
I will say, rumors from Oklahoma, there's going to be possibly new episodes or a spinoff of the Tiger King. So I know everyone's anxiously waiting for maybe a spinoff of the Tiger King or more extended episodes.
Wow. From Oklahoma or involve the usual players, or are we going to have a new storyline?
Well, I think some of the usual players. A lot of it depends on if Joe Exotic gets pardoned by the Trump administration. But the people that took over for him, that Jeff Lowe, I believe they're going to work a spinoff series about his taking over the zoo. So,
I thought he got kicked out. I thought Carol Baskin just got.
Yeah, Carol Baskin took over.
Yeah, but he has his own zoo that he's opening up.
Oh, okay.
Follow that.
Okay.
Possibly. Not for sure, but that's the rumor.
Wow. Well, that'll be interesting.
All right.
No, all right. Good question there from Sarah. Who else we got?
Let's see. 4-Star Dave in Massachusetts. Joe, I think you might know this one.
Oh, yeah. This sounds like one of my.
Everyone's still there?
What's the question, Dylan?
All right. I thought we might have lost you. Let's see. Big week for horse racing coming up. Corner handicapping.
Oh, okay.
Who's going to win the Belmont, Coach?
Oh, it is Belmont week. It's a different year. The first leg of the Triple Crown. Not run over a mile and an eighth, I think, this year instead of the traditional mile and a half. It's been a tough year for horse racing all the way around. The Derby getting moved. All the horses now, all the favorites have been hurt, essentially. So I think we're down to a field of like 8 or 9 at the Belmont this
Wow.
weekend. I mean, traditionally that's not a large field by that time it gets to the Belmont, but man, I mean, I think you got to go with Tiz the Law. That's the clear favorite, especially at that distance. He's still the Derby favorite right now with all the other horses getting out. So I'm going to go with Tiz the Law as my prediction. If you're looking for a live long shot, which here at the corner I know we usually are.
We love live long
maybe,
shots.
Maybe Tap It to Win. Tap It to Win would be the live long shot for the Belmont. But it's it's been the Triple Crown trail has been decimated the last couple weeks.
I was going to say we lost a couple Baffert horses.
Nadal had to retire.
Yep.
With an injury. Charlatans out. Wells Bayou is out. New York Traffic is out. Maxfield, which was another people thought had a real chance. He's out. He got hurt. So I don't know. We're down to Tiz the Law and a bunch of some new horses. That's the other thing about the lengthened season this year. Now we have some other. Uncle Chuck is the new Baffert horse. Dylan, you want to write that down?
Uncle Chuck.
1-0 lifetime. Just debuted out in Santa Anita on Friday. Won a maiden race.
There you go.
And people think maybe they'll try to put him up the ladder and get him involved. But yeah, it's been tough.
Keeping on the horse racing theme here, 4-Star Dave sent in another one.
Thank you to 4-Star Dave for the questions. I really
Great question.
We like to get questions from other parts of the country. We have Idaho. We've had some from Oklahoma before, Iowa, Pennsylvania. So it's great to see the New England represented.
Yeah. And then this one, Breeders' Cup. Will there be fans at the Breeders' Cup?
Ooh. Coach, I think we're all hoping for that.
We're all hoping for it because I know there's a couple basketball practice schedules that are hanging in the balance.
That's right. It might be the gym time might get reallotted if there's not.
Exactly.
We're hopeful. I think everybody's hoping they're going to have them back by November, but I don't think anybody really knows. Keeneland is having a week-long meet here in July with no fans. Churchill is still with no fans. Ellis Park, I believe, is going to run without fans. Although I did see recently one track might have just reopened with limited fans. I don't know if that's true or not, but I have to check.
Okay.
Maybe Canterbury Park opened with limited fans. I'm not sure. But, I think, everybody's still feeling it out here just like we are. And I think everybody's hopeful that perhaps by November there'll be some fans at the track. But still, nobody knows. They're going to run the event, I'm sure, either way. So we'll all be able to watch and bet on it. But how close we get to the action, whether it's there or back in our living rooms. I know Coach is a big fan of his living room after these last couple weekends.
Yes. Not the ideal place to watch racing from, but it's all I'm left with.
So we'll see. I don't think anybody knows yet, but we're hopeful. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Okay. Last question for the week. Anonymous texted in.
Oh,
I still don't know who that is.
Is this the same anonymous or a different anonymous?
This is the same anonymous. I don't know who it was. I can't wrap my brain around it. I don't know. I don't understand. But anyway, they want an update on Hunter Fieldhouse.
Oh, well,
Hunter Fieldhouse.
Funny they should ask.
Yep.
Great timing.
Yeah, great timing. The Hunter Fieldhouse is complete. I mean it's not the construction part is complete. Let's just put it that way. Everything is where it's supposed to be. There's still some things to be settled in the interior, but we're going to have a special announcement about just that topic here coming up. So good timing by Anonymous, and Coach, I think we'll address that in the next segment. Correct?
Yeah, we'll address that in the final segment. But it's a great timing, and yes, Hunter Fieldhouse is looking really good, and yes, we'll have a big surprise in the next segment about it.
All right, so yeah, that's in the business. That's what we call a tease. So make sure you come right back for segment 4, and we'll tell you about that. We'll tell you about some other things. We will unfortunately not have Dylan in the last segment, but we will talk a little bit about what's coming up here on the corner right after this. Okay, we're back here for the final segment of this week's edition of Coach's Corner. Coach, I gotta tell you, I know there's been a lot of discussion about the quality of our shows, but I think that was a pretty good show.
It's been a good show again, and we say that a lot, but our show keeps progressing, getting better. We another milestone this week. We've left the mainland with guests. We're now reaching across the mainland, and we're having guests that internationally. And so again, that's another milestone for the Coach's Corner, and this show just keeps getting better. And I don't see how it cannot win some awards down the road.
We're huge in the Caribbean, Coach. Huge.
Yes.
So
sounds like when travel opens up, a place we might ought to do a remote from.
That's right. I'm sure we have the budget for that. That shouldn't be a problem. Really, again, a good show. Talked a little bit about, men's volleyball, and because we didn't, obviously that season got cut short. We didn't have a chance to really highlight them when we were on campus. So it was great to catch up with Adrian and talk about that season. Next time here in the Coach Corner, I know we teased it earlier, but our next segment, hopefully it'll be next week. Our summer schedule is a little more intermittent than we might like, but we have a special guest next week, and the guest is Hunter Fieldhouse.
Hunter Fieldhouse will make its first appearance on the Coach's Corner.
We're gonna go.
Looking forward to showing off the new building, and I know many viewers out there looking forward to seeing Dylan's new office. And so
I know I am. It's not completely done. We still have to get the weights in there. The weights have been ordered, but they haven't been delivered. There's still a few things, the final touches that need to go in there. But, it's certainly, I think if we had to hold something in there tomorrow, we probably could.
Right. No, it's really looking good. Look forward to showing the people next time we film here next week, hopefully. The facility. It's really something to see, and we've been waiting for it a long time, and so I know a lot of people looking forward to it. We're anxious to show it off.
That's right. And if you want to come and see it for yourself, if you're a prospective student, the tours are now back in session. If you have a question here for the corner, I know we didn't say that last time, but make sure you get it in on the text line, which is 859-846-5327, or tweet it to @GoMidwayEagles using the hashtag Coach's Corner. Make sure we get some questions in. I don't think there'll be any questions for the building. You may not be able to ask those, but the building is unavailable for comment, Coach. But you may be able to ask Dylan some questions for FaceTime, or we'll see how that goes.
Yes, I think the building, the Hunter Fieldhouse, is like some of our politicians. Is going to make make an appearance but take no questions. I think that's become the new trend.
That's right. So it won't be a press conference per se, maybe a statement. But we'll look forward to see everybody back here for our next show, where Dylan begins his revenge tour and starts his campaign for next year's SID of the Year in the River States. I can't wait for the big kickoff of that. Have him come down the escalator, so to speak, and head on, trying to get back in the mix for next year's SID of the Year. He's got my vote already. I guess we'll see how the rest of the episodes go. But I think looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think, we mobilized the Eagle Empire out here at Coach's Corner. This will just be a one-year blip on Dylan's screen as far as not accomplishing his goals. So next week starts the comeback tour.
And I'm sure there'll be a lot of analytics involved with that next year during the season. So appreciate everybody joining us again. Thanks for stopping in here in the corner, and we look forward to catching you next time here on the Coach's Corner.